hobby that almost amounts to a name. Pluck.
Attention, intelligent inhabitants of Earth. May we please have your attention. Inhabitants of Earth, stop whatever it is that you are doing and pay attention very carefully. We have traveled to your world from another planet in a solar system beyond your own solar system. Because our world is no longer habitable, we have come to Earth and are presently engaged in a program to colonize your planet. Naturally, because we are psychologically and technologically superior to the human race, we have decided to take full control of Earth. Although we view your race as an inferior, violent, and largely brainless exercise in futility, we nonetheless believe it is prudent to offer humans a choice about their respective futures. Those who accept our colonization terms will be permitted to live and serve our needs as slaves. Those who do not accept our offer will be summarily obliterated. The choice is yours. Humans who choose to live are required to report to the closest mobile recruitment station in your neighborhood within 48 hours so you can be processed. For those who refuse, there is no escape. We will find you in less than a week's time and end your foolish, miserable, and utterly useless existence. Again, the choice is yours.
To realize the future America needs, we understand what's needed from us to face each threat head on. We've earned our place in the fight for our nation's future. We are Marines. We were made for this.
Welcome to extraterrestrial reality. The human race is definitely not ready at this moment in time for open contact with the extraterrestrial / non-human intelligent presence on Earth. I don't think that we're anywhere near that point right now. We would not be, we're not in a position to receive any sort of contact like that.
Hello.
I'm sure that whatever, if they were even say they're friendly, I don't think that we would treat them that way. We would treat them as if they were some kind of enemy, even if they were friendly. I don't think open contact is an option at this point. I think for one thing, it would scare the hell out of a lot of people across this world. Mostly because of the fact that most people don't even realize the situation that there are extraterrestrials here, that there is some kind of a presence here. Most people do not accept this, even though the proof has been laid out there for people to see and people to absorb. Some people aren't doing that. They refuse to do that. They continue along this path of make-believe, and so that's a problem. Because if you're in that mindset where there's no proof that there's anything here, and then all of a sudden you go from not believing anything to all of a sudden something's here right in your face and it's communicating with you, that's too much. That would be too much. It actually would be too much for people in the UFO community, people who study this, people who have had encounters themselves. It would be too much for me. I wouldn't even want to get hypnotized to try to remember what happened, if anything more happened, when I had my encounter when I was a kid. We're just not ready for open contact at this point in time. And I think, sometimes I believe, and I don't know if this is true or not, this is pure speculation. Sometimes I think that these creatures deliberately do things that test us to see if we're ready. Like if you take, for instance, the Las Vegas case from 2023, maybe that was some sort of a test, similar to perhaps the Hopkinsville, Kentucky, 1955 goblin spree case. Maybe it's something similar to that. I mean, in 2023, some craft lands in somebody's backyard, and alien creatures exit that craft. What is the first thing that people do? They run in the house and they all grab handguns, and then you come back out into the yard and they go into the yard to try to, who knows what, I guess scare those creatures away, but instead what happens is the creatures scare those people back out of the yard, and then they call up the cops. Maybe that's some sort of, maybe that whole thing was arranged by the aliens. if we speculate about what happened in that case, maybe like some of the speculation involves that it was just some sort of a malfunction on their craft, and they needed to make an emergency landing, and they landed in that yard, and they had to wait there till their comrades showed up and helped them get out of there. That was one possibility with regard to why it landed there. Another possibility was that they did it on purpose. That maybe this was their way to announce themselves to the world. Maybe this is their form of disclosure, of disclosing the truth about their presence to the world. That could have been that. That was another concept thrown out there. But maybe it's a test to see how we would meet these people, meet these creatures. How would we deal with them if we're face to face with them? And obviously, you see what happens when we're face to face with them. We go grab handguns and then try to chase them away, or who knows what. So that's what I think. I think some of these things could have been tests. Like for instance, the Hopkinsville case from 1955, and I did bring this up one time before. 1955, August. It was actually August 21st and 22nd, I believe. August 21st and August 22nd in rural Kentucky. And here's a little article. This is from Fandom, weirdwildcreatures.fandom.com. I will leave the link for this so you can check it out for yourself. And it says here, nobody really knows exactly what the Hopkinsville goblins are or where they came from. These small, human-like creatures are said to share characteristics of both ghosts and aliens. The goblins have supposedly made brief contact with humans, and people claim to have witnessed the visitors or the spacecraft they used on their visit to Earth. It says here that these creatures were armed but not dangerous. The goblins apparently don't attack people, but witnesses say the creatures have rows of needle-like teeth in their mouths and long talons on their hands like an eagle's. Both could be used as weapons, and they are also ugly looking. The faces of Hopkinsville goblins are their most startling feature. Huge glowing eyes suggest they see well in the dark, and their bat-like ears would be sensitive to the tiniest noises. And it says here, on August 21st, 1955, it was a quiet night at the Sutton family farm in rural Kentucky until the goblins arrived. The Suttons saw a bright light streak across the sky. A short time later, a 3-foot-tall, silver-skinned creature was peeking in their window. As many as 12 of the goblins ran around the house and even climbed on the roof, terrifying the family. The Suttons darted off in their car to find the police, but the goblins were gone when the authorities arrived. And then after, they just want to stop there for a second. I mean, the story is a very involved story. There was like 12 people, 5 adults and 7 kids at this place that night. And one of these people, Billy Ray Taylor, he actually, relation, he was standing outside right before all this started when it was just getting dark out, and he saw what he thought was a flying saucer in the distance, and he went and he told everyone in the house, and they didn't believe him. And then shortly thereafter, that's when these creatures showed up and were terrorizing. And him and one of the Sutton brothers, Elmer Sutton, were shooting at these creatures, trying to get rid of them. And when they would shoot them, they would sound like they were hitting metal, and the creatures would just fall on the ground and then just float away. Here's what the article says. While the goblins were investigating the Sutton house, a visitor to the Sutton farm, Billy Ray Taylor, stepped outside to confront them. A goblin on the roof reached down and grabbed the man by the hair. Billy Ray quickly ran back inside. Authorities explained the goblin story by saying natural gases had been released from the ground that night, which made the Suttons see things that weren't really there. Well, I don't believe that at all. There was 12 people that saw these weird creatures floating around outside of the house. I believe that those 12 people were not having any kind of a hallucination or anything like that. I think that this really happened. There's too many witnesses. And then the article continues. It says, when the goblins first arrived at Hopkinsville, one of the Suttons panicked and grabbed his rifle. Seeing one of the creatures in a tree, he took aim at close range and shot the goblin square in the chest. The creature fell to the ground from the force of the bullet. However, the bullet simply bounced off the goblin's body. The creature got up, its body began to glow, and it floated into the air like a ghost. The only evidence left behind was a glowing spot in the grass where the goblin had fallen.